Hey guys, Dawn Music here. We're going to do vlog number 26. By the warning, this is the vlog that talks about Queen of the Murder Scene's fourth and final chapter. And we're already in the midst of that one as I analyze song by song, doing a deep dive through the entire album. We did Psychotic yesterday, which is the first song of chapter 4. So I'm going to jump in here. We're going to check out this whole vlog, learn a bit about it, have some fun together, and then tomorrow I'll jump into the next song in the chapter. Here we go. Pow, Danny, and Allie from The Warning.
Hey everybody!
Hello guys!
And welcome to the vlog of chapter 4, which we didn't record that day. But, okay. we're doing it now, which is the good thing. Okay, so chapter 4 starts with P-S-Y-C-H-O-T-I-C.
Which is... Oh, it's...
Allie, and I think Danny, but definitely Allie would make that. That was cute sound. It's like, you did it. You did it.
Without the I-am. Okay, so the first song is P-S-Y-C-H-O-T-I-C. For sure, let's just say Psychotic.
Yeah.
It is basically like my favorite song lyrically.
Chapter 4 is
Chapter 4 is my favorite album. My favorite chapter. Sorry.
Yes.
It's my favorite chapter, and
That's cool. Yeah, that's interesting. And it's her favorite lyric in Psychotic. That's really cool. Wow. And chapter 4? Wow. This is interesting.
that song specifically, the lyrics, it's so good. I remember I wrote the chorus about 2 years ago. I remember.
You know, she's doing that thing that she does. Pow is a really interesting person, in my opinion. I'll try to keep this brief, but most of us have quite an imbalance of neediness or arrogance, right? There seems to be a rare case where people are able to be very matter of fact while still being likable, and not being offensive, and being proud or proud if they're or factually honest about the success of something that they've done, and boastful about it, but not boastful in a bad way, but just proudly proclaiming that something was good that they did. It's hard to do that and not come across as a jerk, and it's also hard to go through life if you're really insecure and you're like needing compliments all the time. All those things are quite common, though. It's unusual to find someone like Pow, who, from my observations, reminds me a little bit, other than the fact that she's kind of manic at times. And I mean that in a positive way, not in a diagnosis way. I just mean that she's very intensive and energetic in the way I get, the way anyone I know gets when they're really excited about some topic. It's something that really means a lot to them. They get really involved in it, right? And so she's talking about what she loves and her creation. So of course she's got a mania going on in her intensity, right? But she can talk about something that she created and say it was great because she's being honest, and she knows in herself that it was great. She doesn't need to be told that, but of course she also does get told that, but she doesn't need to be told that. She knows what something that she did was good or not. But she's also very honest if something she did was just terrible. And I think she's honest about her sisters too. If something she thinks is great from them, she'll tell them the truth. If she doesn't think it's great, she'll tell them the truth. And that sort of honesty is almost like if you're in a like science fiction series like Star Trek and the Vulcan species. You can't call them a race because they're humanoid, but they're not human. So they're really a different species. They're very logical and they're very bluntly honest, and they will proclaim the excellence of something that they did if it's accurate. And that could come across as arrogance to people who aren't really aware that this is just a factual statement from someone who's really honest and really aware. And I admire it. It's unusual.
We're going out with a friend, and I was in the car, and I showed you and Mom that chorus, and you were like, "Oh my God, it's so cool!" And I was so excited about it, but I just left it there because it was just like when I was beginning to start like the concept, and so I just left it there. So basically, Psychotic is a mix of 3 different songs I had, because the verse. Okay, the verses that I
remember
have
the
for
last
the original
versions. Yes.
Psychotic, they were horrible. They were literally absolutely horrifying.
But the melody was good.
The melody was good. I mean, we could.
See, that's what I'm saying. She can be honest if something was terrible. Hi, cat. Hi, kitty cat. You're cute. Oh, I see what I'm doing here. One thing I got to change. I'm sorry, I was blocking things out here. Let me edit that, shall I? Yes, let's move myself up here. And then I'm no longer going to be quite in the way. All right? Maybe I could make myself smaller. Ooh, so baby Dawn. There we go. I'll be baby Dawn up in the top corner. All right. As you were.
Use it.
But the lyrics were really bad. And I remember that I made another song with the same concept. Link. No. I had another song like for the same concept that I did 2 years ago too. And 2 years ago too. Okay. And I just recorded it on my phone and I just left it there. So when I didn't have a verse for Psychotic, I started looking at my voice memos, which is like such a drag because I have like over 500 voice memos.
Oh, one of you was telling me this in one of the comments. That's so cool. I mean, it's actually terrible, but it's fascinating that it's cool that you told me. It's terrible for her that she doesn't keep them organized and she has so many of them. But it kind of goes along with someone who's a really creative person and quick thinking because they want to just get the stuff out there and then continue on. I think she jumps from thought to thought very quickly.
Yes.
And I don't know why I do this. It's really a horrible habit. But I never named the voice memos. It only says like new recording 245.
Oh yes. I always title my voice memos so that won't happen.
See, there you go. Talk about a difference in personality types, right? Danny, the organizer. She'd be good with business and planning and managing people.
So I had all my voice memos without a name, so I was just like listening through every one, and then I found cause the blood that I bleeding is no longer red. It was in G though. And
Yeah, which changed
yeah,
the
we
two
changed
names.
it was too high.
Wow. So you know how everyone talks about the fact that Alejandra has perfect pitch? Not very well trained, but perfect pitch. Perfect pitch means you can always remember that a certain pitch, you can identify that pitch. You may not necessarily know the name of it if you aren't a trained musician, but you can always tell when a G is a G, or a G sharp is a G sharp, or an F is an F. So that's what she has. I have it often, but it isn't perfect because when I'm tired, it leaves me, abandons me just when I'm in my time of need. But someone with truly perfect pitch has truly perfect pitch. That's what Alejandra has. However, her sisters clearly have nearly perfect pitch, I would say, because both of them can pick notes out of the blue and know what the note is very well too. Both Danny and Pao, I've heard them both do it multiple times, and it's excellent. Very, very impressive. But if you don't have perfect pitch, then you can be wrong about it and not realize. And that's the sort of thing that drives someone with perfect pitch crazy. And you can always tell if there's someone with perfect pitch around by their reactions, because it actually almost hurts them to hear something out of tune or wrong when they think it's correct or sung in the wrong key. Because to them it's totally obvious that it's wrong, even though it's a bit of a fluke of nature to have perfect pitch. So always watch Alejandra when someone's singing a song around her, because she'll probably know instantly if the person's wrong or right, as long as she knows the song. It's fun to watch. But obviously Pao knows these things because she's like picking it out just like that too.
And it just fit perfectly. I had all the first verse done already. Mm-hmm. And then when I found like that voice memo, I just started working on the second verse immediately. The second verse is my favorite verse. My favorite line of the whole song, it's the be proud of your pride and the things that you hide. Oh, that is be proud of your pride. I'm so proud of that.
There's an example right there. You see the face that Alejandra just made? I think she was like, wait, Pao, you're not singing that right. That's the impression I get. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a lyric change or something. But I think that's what she's thinking. Pao started off great. She started singing with her, and they were not singing in the same key.
Yes. Even I have to say, it's really good. I just really like the whole song lyrically.
Yeah.
You should be proud of it. It's great.
It's very cool. And it's super fun to play.
It's one of the funnest songs to play.
I bet. Danny's.
Oh, it's one of the most tiring ones.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
at least for me.
Yeah, the peak.
Hey, I said that in my reaction, my analysis of Psychotic yesterday. It must be exhausting for her to sing this song, especially live, because that's just like intense, nonstop, and power vocals. It's not like you can just wimp out. You have to be intense the whole time, and so many words.
YCHOTICs are awful because like she does the low notes, but I do like
I
PS
do
live.
P-S-Y.
Oh, so there you go. So I wasn't sure how that worked. Thank you for explaining it, you two. That's awesome. I thought that sounded like Alejandra's voice during the higher cheerleader sort of sound, because it just didn't sound like Pow. Pow is a very distinctive voice, right? Especially when she's pushing it. And it has an edge to it most of the time anyway, although she can make it very sweet. The natural voice is kind of edgy and gravelly almost a little bit in a very musical, attractive way. Alejandra's voice is just richer and purer. But yeah, but Alejandra's voice is not like little girly cheerleader sounding at all. Not in the slightest bit, at least not by this age. So that's fascinating. So she did a higher pitch version and Pow did a lower pitch version of this chant.
And it's really like hard to do
yes.
live. With like when we did Lunario, like it was one of the last songs, and I was like dying.
Me too.
And that part was like, oh, especially since the song is very lyrically packed, you don't have time to breathe. The only time you have like to rest, you as like during the PSYCHOTICs,
and
but
the bridge.
well, only the first two ones, and then the bridge. And fun fact about the song,
Pow is always going off on a tangent somewhere. Every vlog I see, Pow just interrupts herself, goes off on a tangent, and it's fascinating. I love all of it. It's just a really interesting personality trait.
You see that in the beginning, there's like a laugh.
Oh, yes.
It's my laugh.
Yep, I knew that. Remember? I put up my hand. I knew that. Either I've seen a section of this as a short, or someone told me. I think someone told me. Or she said this in a different vlog. Because I definitely don't know most of this stuff, other than third hand from people having written it down and told me separately. But, is that second hand? I don't know. But this I knew. And this is really interesting. That they recorded something. They were recording something, and the guy was letting the tape roll, as they would say in the old days. And she started laughing or whatever, and it was just her natural laugh, and so they kept it for something, and they used it at the beginning of Psychotic.
Like
that's
her
like my genuine laugh.
Like,
when somebody makes me laugh, like really, boom, I'm laughing.
Oh,
that's my laugh.
that-
I remember
she
we
laughs like
were
that.
recording the PSY. Yeah, I said it correctly.
for the demo.
oh, she thought she misspelled it. That's awesome.
Demo, okay? And I remember that it was just we were like laughing all the time. It was really hard to keep a straight face because we were trying to do it like as if we were children or something, like cheerleaders or something. And it was just really, really funny. And I remember that at the end of a take, I just like laughed really, really like loudly. And we had that recorded and we're like, Jake, put that on.
Yeah, Jay, like, we said, like, you have to keep that. And he just kind of modified it so it would go in the beginning. And it sounded so good. And at the end, we got used to it. So
we just
it's
left
like,
it there.
It has to go there.
Oh,
And
I think PSYC. I think Psychotic has a lot of like our Japanese rock influences, especially in
Really?
the bridge.
Huh.
I remember that in one song,
Wouldn't have thought
Japanese
that.
rock song. I heard like it was like I don't know if it was. I think it was the beginning, and it starts like with like a riff, let's say, with the like vocals, and it's just like
Yeah, it has like a vocal main part instead of the instrument.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. But it's not saying anything, and I really wanted to do. It's just like a very big atmosphere, and I wanted to do something like that. And so we started working on that, and I just extremely loved it. It was really, it's really fun. But in live, when you play it live, it's really hard to do because I'm doing like the 16 notes on the what's
The
it
snare.
called? Yeah, the snare. Thank you.
World famous drummer. What's that thing called that I hit? That's awesome. Just one of those. I certainly forget nouns. I get it especially when I'm on a roll talking about something. I get distracted. I can't think of a specific noun. I can't pick it out. So I get not thinking of the word snare. I totally get it, pal.
We did the 16 notes in the snare, and I'm just like, okay, keep breathing. That song is very tiring because the verses are really fast. I'm doing eighth notes, but the tempo of the song is really quickly.
Oh, she just sang the part. Alejandra just sang the part that I was talking about. She sang her part. So she sings the low part. Thank you, Alejandra. She's picked it out of the blue. See? Talk about perfect pitch. So, and Pau sings, and Ale sings, That's awesome. I just realized what that was. Man, that was cool to hear her just pick out the melody and just sing it perfectly like that.
We changed tempos on that song.
Yeah, actually, the pre-chorus it goes down.
Yeah, the tempo goes a little bit down.
It's not very noticeable.
Oh, yeah. Remember, I also thought of that. I realized it. I remember I was going like clap, 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 clap in time. So even though in the video it looks like I'm clapping late, that's just because of the lag in OBS Studio. When I'm doing my recordings, my part is always a little bit late, and it bugs me because I'm a musician and these things have to be perfect, and it's not perfect because of the video editor, not because of me. So anyway, yes, so there is a tempo change there, and it was verified by one of my regular subscribers. So thank you very much for that. You know who you are, sir. All right, let's go on.
Oh, but it's true.
But
it's there.
like you feel the difference because when we were making the demos, it felt really bad if we left it at the same tempo. That's why I remember when we were recording, like from the the transition from the pre-chorus to the chorus, I do a build-up, and I struggled a lot, like just to keep
Oh
time.
yeah, because it changed.
You could feel the change.
That's why I always
it was just uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So the change of tempos made it complicated as a drummer to be perfectly in time after those tempo changes, of course, right? Especially when she's doing fast 16th notes and stuff. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I'd think of that if I was doing the playing, right? Neat.
But we got used to it now, and it's one of the funnest songs to play. Oh, we were also going to remove the hey
of the chorus. Yeah.
No, you can't get rid of that. No. Hey is good. Not no. We need it. Hey.
The chorus, and
we didn't like it that much at first, but then we took it out, and it's like
we found ourselves singing it, even though it wasn't there. Yeah.
And one of the most the things I like most about this song is the bass line. It's just like
oh yeah, the bass lines were really fun to make. The bass line of the
I agree. The bass line is awesome in this song.
Of the verses, it was a line that I had
in the piano.
So when I was like showing it to Ale, it's really funny now, but at that time it was just like
frustrating.
Frustrating.
We had nothing in the song but the bass line.
baseline.
She was just like learning it. I was like, okay.
So it was fa.
Even though it's not that anymore.
We changed the.
Is it called accents?
The timing,
I
the
think
line it's pretty weird.
it's weird.
But once you get used to it,
it's like not on the downbeat. It's like in the up. I don't know if it's called the
Syncopado.
upbeat. And no, it's not. It's not syncopado. It's just in the
and
E of like the
and the
uno
and of
E.
the-
Yeah,
The and actually, not the E.
exactly.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
and.
yeah.
There we go. We know the terms.
Yeah, see? One E and a. These are actual music terms that people use. I can talk to any percussionist and explain things by saying 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. The E of 3, the and of 4, the ah of 1. All these things are legitimate music speak things.
last
Yeah. But it's fine. So
But yes, that's and story-wise, Psychotic is just, our main
She's
character
just, like,
is
mocking.
crazy, and she accepts it, and she's just like
she's
mocking,
like mocking
everyone.
everybody that's like trying to capture her.
Yeah, mocking. That's a really good word. That's true.
Like,
Yeah.
That's if Danny's ever mocking you, that's what she's going to look like.
Yes.
Moving on. The next song is it's Hunter.
Hunter.
Everyone loves Hunter. It's such a great song. Such a great rock and roll feel.
My favorite song.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Hunter was really different to write, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it started from like a jam session We were
We started
trying.
with that riff, right? The
Yeah. Yeah,
Baka.
we were doing it. I remember.
I had that riff.
And then I played the
Actually, no, I had that riff, and
Allie, that was a very funny look and sound. It's like she just came to some great realization that I guess she didn't realize before or had forgotten. It's just funny, their personalities.
I started to do a whole other song. I had more parts of that, but you just kind of like took it all out and left that part.
I remember
and then,
that.
Yes, I had no lyrics, but I had melody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember that I wasn't a big fan. But so, and we started like working.
Whoa, burn. I gotta hear that again.
That part.
I remember
and then,
that.
Yes, I had no lyrics, but I had melody.
Yeah, and I
remember.
remember that I wasn't a big fan. But so, and we started like
Whoa.
working on the song together, the three of us. But we had to do the songs like very quickly because we had to make demos of them very quickly because Jake was about to leave, and we really needed to record the demos. Okay, so it was like a day before Jake came, and we were just like working on the song. And I remember you were on the guitar, I was on the piano, and the chorus came out, and it was the first time ever in history of Paulina Villarreal that I had ever modulated a chorus. Is that how you say it? Modulated?
I think so. It's
Like
a
change
modulation
the
of
key?
harmony.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed. Yeah, it's just change of key, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that song was the first song I've ever in my life
Changed the key in the middle.
In the middle
the
of
same
the song.
song, yeah.
In the same song, exactly. And it was just so exciting that I had done something differently, and the chorus was really cool. And
Hunter, change of key. I'll have to listen for that. I'd forgotten it did that. I'll have to listen to it tomorrow and see.
we had like the pre-chorus and the chorus ready. Well, kind of. The chorus wasn't finished lyrically, but so Jake came the next day, and we were like working.
Aw, Danny and Allie are so cute. Well, pals in hard work mode, descriptive teaching. They're being cute. I gotta see that again.
So we had like.
And she did that thing again where she suddenly just pops into a new thought. Wow, there's always so much going on inside Pow's head. It's like she doesn't have enough time to get it all out, you know?
The pre-chorus and the chorus ready. Well, kind of. The chorus wasn't finished lyrically,
Here they go.
but so Jake came the next day, and we were like working on the song, and we didn't have one single verse. We didn't have melodies. We didn't have lyrics.
We had
And we were
nothing.
basically just building the parts as we went. And I remember that I had like the part of the drums, which is very simple, honestly. So I just had that. It was like the bass. The basse, I don't know if that makes sense in English.
Basse.
Yeah,
bass,
the-
basse. Oh, okay. So basically, you have the bass, and well, they were working on bass guitar and guitar lines, I guess. And I was just giving like the basse. There has to be another word in English.
Basse. And she's not talking about the bass guitar. She's talking about what? The foundation of the song? The structure of the song, I guess? Is that what she's talking about? Like the arrangement?
Like bass,
Yeah, it's just like the layout.
The
Layout, yeah.
the bass,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
basse. Okay,
The
so I was
bass
just
structure of the
yeah, I was just
song.
giving like the structure.
Structure. Yeah, structure. Hey, yeah, that's a good word. I'm glad you guys thought of it.
Okay, it was just and I knew that we had to make it like something quick, just so we could record the song, and that's it. We could have changed it, like we could change it later. So, and I was like,
How many times in my life have I done something, created something, gone through a lot of it, thought it was pretty good, said, well, I can change it later. 20 years later, still do it the same way.
na, 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 and I was like, okay, wait a second, let me record this. And it was just like the first lyric that came to mind. I just wrote it down very quickly on my phone, recorded it, and that was
boom!
that. And then we started
We had a
recording,
verse.
and yeah, the whole verse, like the two parts of the first verse, it was just like really
We did
quickly.
it like that, and we left it like that. Like we really liked it.
Yeah, it was. It
We
just
worked
stayed like that.
really quickly. Oh well, but the
the second verse was like a real hassle.
We did it in the same day because Jake was leaving.
Jake was about to leave for a really long time. I remember that. So we were in a like very big hurry. So
Yeah, if they had a label at that point, I would have thought this was a label trick to get them motivated and finish something up fast by saying, oh yeah, the engineer has to leave for a really long time tomorrow. So you guys have to finish it up today. Because that's sort of like a marketing trick, a management trick. I mean, not a marketing trick, a managing trick. But I don't think that's the case in this case. I suspect he was legitimately busy because he was basically the engineer for the album and for the demos And I think he worked directly in their home with them as well as in the studio. Or maybe he was just the guy in the studio, because I know they talked about I forget the name of the studio that they worked in. But anyway, it's interesting all the same.
Working on Hunter, and we had, I had already finished the first verse, but we needed a second verse, right?
And I remember Danny was busy like recording.
You were recording vocals, and in between you came like to the
work
other
on the
room,
lyrics.
and we were like working on the lyrics, and we were just like literally lying on the floor screaming at each other because we couldn't. It was really funny.
Yeah, we were just
it was not like angry screams, but it was just like desperate
No
screams.
sale
like,
nada
kind of screams.
Wow.
So
That's funny.
we were just
it's very
extremely
descriptive.
desesperadas. How do you say? It's not desperate.
No, it's
We were frustrated.
Frustrated. Yeah,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
in a funny way.
Yeah. It was still very
Weird.
comical. I don't know why we found it funny, because now that I look at it, we were really suffering. We're like, why can't we get anything out?
Yes.
So,
But we did it.
Yeah, in the
did
end, like we only took like
In the end,
we did it like 5-10 minutes, just like really intense.
Danny got a joke out of the end because the next song at the end. That was good. But I loved the room shot.
Just working on that, and then that's how it stayed. The whole song was just like what you listen to now is basically all that we had in the demo. Literally, now that when I listen to the demo, of course it's very different, like sound wise.
Yeah.
But the parts are all the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
guys, we
kinda
went to
stuck
the
to that.
studio like really prepared with our demos.
Yeah.
So Hunter was one of the ones that we stayed extremely true to.
Wait. Talk about your snare drum. That we liked.
Okay. I don't know if you guys remember in the live chats, somebody said something about like the snare in the Sinister's Mouse. So, and I remember that I don't know if you guys remember, but I said that my favorite snare drum of the whole album was on a song that wasn't released yet. Well, that song is Hunter. Okay, I just love. It was like 18-inch snare. It was huge.
18 inch?
It
Wow.
didn't barely
Feet.
it barely even fit.
Danny just snorted. It's awesome. Because it could barely feet.
Inch snare. It was huge. I
It
could
didn't
barely
even
feet. It barely even fit.
in her legs.
Yeah, I
It's
couldn't
just
like
like,
I didn't fit in the drum set.
Sorry.
So I was just, and it had like a really deep sound. And I remember that in parts you see in the
I think Alejandra just said to Danny, you snorted. I'm pretty sure that's what she just said to her quietly.
pre-chorus, I do like an army roll kind of thing. It's not really an army roll, but it's just like, it's basically a rudiment. So I wanted like a higher sound for that part, because over like in the center of the snare drum, it just sounded like really loose, I guess. I wanted it to sound like tighter. So I just went like to like the outer kind of like layer, like the outer rim, I guess.
The
I don't
edge.
know how it's called in English.
snare drum.
It was just like
Towards
in
the edge.
very like end of the snare drum, which
Just
usually
not in the center.
Yeah, usually in normal snares, it sounds like really pitchy and really
Towards the edge, yes, it does.
but in that one, it sounded like a normal snare. So it was really fun. And in the pre-chorus, I just started going lower. So like while I did the crescendo. So you got
Right, so you start at the edge, which is a standard studio trick to do, or I mean not studio trick, snare trick to do. But with a regular snare drum, yeah, it can sound really bad, especially if it's like a brass or metal snare. It can sound really intense, sharp towards the edge. Useful, but not really a rock useful, you know? But if this one sounded good there, then as you come towards the middle, it get deeper and louder and thicker. And it's also interesting. It reminds me of what I was telling you guys yesterday about the position of the right hand of the bass player. Alejandro, who plays fingerstyle, but even if you play with a pick, it's still true. The closer you are towards the bridge, the brighter and more articulate the sound is. But there's more boom as you get towards the neck, towards the middle of the string, over that neck pickup. It gets darker. Well, not darker. It gets fuller. Let's say that. It gets fuller and sloppier, like looser. I get what she's talking about. It sounds like that. The string itself moves a lot more. It's a lot floppier in that point. So it's literally the same physics concept as what happens with the snare drum.
like that, I don't know, dynamic. It sounded really cool. But
And Danny just demonstrated. That was awesome.
story-wise, this song
guys,
is actually really interesting.
Yes, it's one of the.
Meanwhile, Allie's fixing her hair, trying to figure out what's going on with it. She cracks me up, making sure that she looks a certain way.
few things that I think you haven't guessed yet.
Yeah. It's the only thing that you haven't figured out. It's
Okay, so wait. The picture of the not the picture, the sketch, the artwork
sketch,
of that song, you see it's a Grim Reaper. So it is a Grim Reaper talking in this song. Like
it's basically the Grim Reaper.
We introduce a new character that's the Grim Reaper that's coming to tell our queen of the murder scene to stop doing its job.
Like
and you
Okay, so in Hunter, this explains a ton. So Hunter is sung from the perspective of the Grim Reaper, who's kind of like scolding the queen of the murder scene for doing the Reaper's job. That's fascinating. That explains. I've kind of always tried to figure this one out. I never really had this one figured out.
like, yes, stop doing that because that's my thing. And I'm gonna get you for it.
And basically at the end of the song, the Grim Reaper does get
Her.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So that explains the whole thing. Thank you.
Yes.
Like, kills her.
So yeah, every
Boosh. Boosh. Allie's looking at her like, what the heck?
lyric in this song is from the point of view of the
Grim Reaper. So that's why.
I think they all just said 3 different words. From the point of view of that, I heard 3 different words. They all explained Grim Reaper. I'm sure I heard Danny say "da," and I heard Allie start to say something that was longer and slower. I'm not sure. Maybe she was saying it really slowly, but it sounded like 3 different phrases.
Does get her.
Yes.
Like, kills her.
So yeah, every lyric in this song is from the point of view of the
Grim Reaper. So that's why
They all said. I'm not sure what Danny said. It sounded like maybe it was one of those things that they were talking about in recent interviews where she can be a little incoherent at times. Or maybe she started to say the word devil. I don't know. Interesting.
And Queen of the Scene is dying because the Grim Reaper killed her. So
we don't know how.
It just sounded sad the way she said that.
We don't know.
I mean, everybody
is dying.
Yeah, everybody has their own version, but basically the Grim Reaper killed her. And so the end is basically that song where she's dying. She's just like dying in that song.
Those are like her last words her last
basically.
breaths of life.
And that that song is actually I really like the song. It started on the piano. Yeah. I basically have this whole song on the piano from end to beginning was just like on the piano.
Yes. We didn't want to change that actually. It was going to be just like piano and vocals.
Yeah, and we did many versions which were awful.
No, it was really bad.
We did like 4 versions of it and they were all like awful. And in Soga, when we were recording the song, we actually...
So that's right, Soga. I think that's what I've heard them say is the name of the studio where they recorded the whole album. Seems like a very impressive place.
That one song that we actually came up with most of it.
Yes.
When the bass and the guitar were gonna enter and everything, like it was that one song that we actually had no idea what we were gonna do with.
Yeah, I mean we had all the parts figured out already, but not like how to incorporate them correctly.
Yeah.
Arrangement. Yeah, there you go.
I love the solo of that song.
That solo is very good. And
Oh yeah.
I sang that song, I guess.
The end is amazing, and I'm looking forward to deep diving into the end and Hunter.
You all got it. You noticed it, and we were playing it in the Lunario. And it's basically just the final words of the Queen of the Murder Scene, saying that she doesn't regret what she did because, I mean, she's crazy. But that she wishes that she didn't have to carry all of that. While she's dying, like she doesn't want it anymore.
Because in the end, she doesn't regret anything because in her mind, everything she did was still because of love, for love.
Oh.
So she's just twisted up inside.
Yeah. She's a little bit crazy. And that was a whole.
That's interesting though. So her perspective is so disjointed from reality that she doesn't see it as wrong. Wow. Complicated and tragic that it happened, but not like really, really wrong like most of us would feel.
Basically, that's why I sing the end.
The end.
Dust to dust.
Oh yeah, Dust to
Okay,
Dust.
basically.
Who did Ali say Dust to Dust is the same time as Pow? I gotta hear that.
Yeah. She's a little bit crazy. That was the whole point. So basically, that's why I sing the end. The end. Dust to Dust.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she did. She said it exactly the same time, exactly the same way as Pow. Even though it wasn't even the middle of a sentence or anything like that, Pow and her just shifted into the same gear at the same time. It's wild how these three can think alike and say the same thing at the same time, yet they're also different.
Okay, basically, Dust to Dust. Nobody figured this out. But I don't know if they did. But Dust to Dust, basically, like the prologue, is it's Queen of the Murder Scene already dead.
Yes.
That's why I sing it. You know,
Right.
like in the last song, I die.
Yeah.
Like
wait,
I
actually,
die with my voice.
Actually, we kind of did this unintentionally, but
We figured that was a twist. Oh,
yes, the last phrase of the end, we end with "start again." Like we're just saying "start again" over and over and over again. So, like we're
creates
kind
like a
of
cycle.
unconsciously telling you to start listening again from the beginning, like start again.
Cool.
the album.
Yeah, I've heard
like,
this. I've heard that.
The album is a cycle. She dies,
and then
Dust
the
to
prologue
Dust.
starts because it's the
She's dead.
She's dead.
And she's telling
and
you.
I'm like, yeah, and she basically she's just welcoming you to her story.
And everything.
And in the end, everything just turns back into dust. You see, that was completely unintentional, but it fits perfectly.
And we were like, well.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes happy coincidence like that happen, and it's just like really cool.
Yes.
And that's when
There was another time when they talked about it and she called it a happy accident. Yeah, so I saw a different video where they described that. That's really cool though.
I mean, Danny, like you see in the end of Dust to Dust, and the
Yeah, my shouting.
I can't reach those.
Yeah,
notes.
you were.
So,
you were
but I mean, it's really cool because I mean, it's basically the introduction of like Queen of the Murder Scene in the beginning, which Danny starts. So it's like basically like, hey, this is the beginning of the
her
actual story, and boom,
Right.
the beginning of the beginning, which is Crimson Queen.
Right. Cool.
It's really cool. I really like
Yes.
that. And
Should. It's so neat how it works out. You could have put Dust to Dust at the end of the album, after the end, and have those last two songs sung by Pow only. But it makes much more sense to have Dust to Dust at the beginning. It's so confusing though, because she's the good person. This plays with my mind, this album. It's just the complex logic puzzle of it all is fascinating, but hard to fathom considering there's like two personalities inside one person and there's a good and the bad, but then one of them dies off. Do they both die off, or how does this work, right? Because then there's a story being told by the other one, but the other one is telling the story beforehand, and then it just goes around and around in my head.
We're super happy with how our album came out.
yeah, we're
Oh,
really
yeah.
happy, and we're really happy that
And
you
you
guys
guys
welcome it with
liked it.
open arms. We know it's not an easy story.
No, we love it.
Yes. As I think we said in the last vlog, or I don't know, that
I think it's in the last
we knew it was a
little bit controversial. I mean, we're
yes,
talking about a killer
different.
view. But we really liked it, and we know that we're just telling a story. We're not really encouraging anybody to do this type of stuff.
We don't condone murder. Please don't go murdering people. We're not trying to tell you to do that. That's awesome.
So we're really glad that you guys liked it.
Yes.
And we're
Love
kind of, it's bittersweet. This is our last vlog
Of the chapters.
of like the
We
album.
ran out of music to
Yeah.
explain.
Aw.
But I guess that we'll keep you guys updated with what's to come.
Yeah. Actually, I've heard. I saw a little bit of your comments that you want to blog on the booklet and the art and how that all came
Ooh.
to be. And I think we can do that. We can do
Oh,
that
yeah,
in
that's
another
cool.
blog.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll
Good
see that
idea, guys.
later. And
Yes.
we'll keep you updated with
More
Lo que viene?
stuff. Yes, we're actually preparing
What's
to
to
go to Mexico City again for the
Like-
Hard Ink.
it's like this Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's on
Hijo
Thursday.
de su fregada.
So yeah, we're about to leave again and play more shows, so we're really excited about that.
Cool.
But yes, guys, we'll keep you updated, and it's also a new month, so
Oh, yeah,
monthly
it's the-
video chats.
It's December.
Yes,
So-
happy December, guys.
It'd be like
So
Happy holidays to everybody out.
Oh, well, that's nice. December. So if it's just become December, that means that Alejandra is going to have a birthday. So in this video, they were talking about the Lunario concert being recent, and I believe, doing quick math in my head here, Alejandra is 13 in the concert. Therefore, she would be just about to turn 14 in this. That's cool. So young. Crazy, eh?
Because it's
Yeah.
December now. And
So
yeah, guys, we'll keep you updated.
We'll
and
tell you when the date of that will be.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah,
So
please.
I think this is the end of the vlog. So
This is
thank you
the
so
end.
much, guys.
This is the end. Goodbye.
So long, my friend.
Ale, you're supposed to be doing this. Ale. Okay, no.
Bye,
Never mind. Bye.
That's... Allie is an independent thinker compared to her sisters. Definitely not a follower. I'll say that much. Considering she's the younger sibling, she's not a follower. Well, this is really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this with me. I certainly did. I learned a ton, and I can't wait to dump. I learned a ton, and I can't wait to jump into Hunter tomorrow night. This is going to be fun. All right. Like, subscribe, comment away, please. And if anyone feels that they want to donate, there is a link in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Rock on.